BTS, highly anticipated release, ARIRANG, is already generating extraordinary momentum in the US market, with industry projections from HITSDD suggesting a first-week debut in the range of 500,000 to 750,000 units, a figure that would place the group firmly among the biggest opening weeks of the year and further solidify their unmatched commercial power in Western music consumption metrics, especially in an era where pure sales are increasingly rare and difficult to achieve at scale. Such a forecast reflects not only the enduring loyalty and organizational strength of the ARMY fandom but also the group's unique position at the intersection of global pop culture, digital virality, and traditional album purchasing behavior, where BTS consistently outperforms streaming-heavy peers by driving massive physical and digital sales alongside strong on-demand numbers. The projected range is particularly notable given the long gap since the group's last full-scale group promotional cycle, demonstrating that their demand has not only remained stable during their individual activities and military service era but may have even grown due to heightened anticipation, nostalgia, and the symbolic significance of a return framed around a culturally resonant title like ARIRANG, which evokes themes of heritage, identity, and emotional storytelling that align closely with BTS' artistic narrative. If the upper end of the forecast materializes, it would mark one of the largest US debuts for any act in the 2020s and reinforce BTS' record as the best-selling Korean act in American chart history, extending a streak of #1 entries on the Billboard 200 that has redefined the commercial ceiling for non-English language releases in the US market. The sales expectations also highlight the group's continued dominance in physical formats, where deluxe packaging, collectible versions, and fan-driven bulk purchasing strategies remain a cornerstone of their chart performance, often accounting for a substantial portion of total units and creating a hybrid consumption model that blends fandom culture with mainstream retail impact. Beyond the numbers, the forecast signals broader industry implications, as BTS' ability to generate 500,000+ debuts challenges the narrative that album sales are in irreversible decline and demonstrates that artist-fan relationships, when cultivated through years of consistent storytelling, social engagement, and musical evolution, can translate into measurable commercial outcomes even in a fragmented media landscape. Retailers, streaming platforms, and radio programmers are already preparing for the release window, anticipating surges in traffic, curated playlist place MRM promotional events that typically accompany a BTS comeback, while media outlets are positioning the debut as a cultural moment rather than a routine chart entry, reflecting the group's transformation from a K-pop phenomenon into a global legacy act whose releases function as industry benchmarks. The wide projection range of 500K to 750K also suggests variables tied to last-minute pre-order growth, digital sales mobilization, and potential remix or alternate version strategies that BTS and their label have historically deployed to maximize chart impact, indicating that the final figure could hinge on fan activation campaigns in the closing days of tracking week. Moreover, the thematic framing of ARIRANG as a title connected to Korean musical tradition may resonate strongly with both domestic pride and international curiosity, potentially boosting not only sales but also cultural discourse, as BTS once again positions Korean language and symbolism at the center of a global pop rollout. In the competitive landscape of 2026, where Western superstars often rely heavily on streaming bundles and viral short-form content, BTS' projected sales emphasize the continuing relevance of dedicated fan economies and the power of physical collectibles as experiment.